Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another tier list. We're going to be looking at the Sith today. Just covered Jedi a couple of days ago, and it was a lot of fun, so I thought I'd redo my Sith tier list. I have done one before. It was a few years ago when I did not have many subs. I think it might have been when I had less than 1,000 subs, so it's definitely due for an update. But even so, after all that time, we've only gained 2 new Sith, which I didn't really believe until I didn't realize that until I was looking at the list of all the Sith on SWGOH. But the only ones we've gained have been Darth Bane and Darkseid Rey, 2 Conquest units. We haven't got any other Sith since 2022, which is kind of crazy. I'd love to see more Sith. It's just there's not too many to pull from. After all, there are supposed to be only ever 2 at one time, but somehow we've got 22 total. We don't have an F tier. I used to have Sith Assassin in the F tier last time I did it, but her ship is actually kind of useful, and she is decently useful if you put her with Darth Bane, but I still don't give her too much credit because one, her ship really got knocked down a peg with the buff of the dagger and the buff of the scimitar under the Leviathan fleet, so the Leviathan fleet is the best in the game. And while her ship is decent, this is primarily a character-based ranking. I'm trying to consider the whole game, but ships aren't going to be, a majority score. Like, just because you have a great ship, if you're a crappy character, you're not going to get a huge boost. There are some uses for Sith Assassin. There's the turn meter gain, you throw with Bane, but you can throw kind of anyone with Bane. But she's okay. D tier instead of F tier, like last time. And now for the C tier, we got what should be a pretty powerful contingent in the lore. We got Darth Sidious, I have at the bottom of C tier. Got Darth Sion, Count Dooku, and Darth Maul. Darth Maul, I pretty much only have him at the top of C tier because of his ship. His ship is so valuable right now, and you might say, oh, well, what about Sith Assassin? I think he's a little bit better than Sith Assassin. The utility for, like, the stealth alone, it kind of comes into play in Galactic Challenges and Conquest, so it's just kind of a niche benefit, and the ship gets him boosted up. And him and Sidious did have a good run in the Naboo raid, but that's over now. So I'm not considering raids too much overall in these tier lists at all. Just because it's a new system, it's just very arbitrary and exclusionary who's good. Because even if who is good, they pick who to buff the most with the hero abilities. But anyway, Sidious, it's very sad to see him this low. He's not like in the bottom 2 tiers, but he is second to worst Sith in this ranking, and I bumped him up a little bit. I would have put him at a D if it weren't for his TW Omicron. It's not super relevant. I think some people use it. My guild, it's never been an emphasis. We've never really set a defense using Sidious Omicron, or at least in the past few years, and there's never been like directions of, oh, make sure you use your Sidious Omicron, or please apply Sidious Omicron. Just, I don't know. Maybe I'm portraying my own ignorance here, but it's just not that impressive to me. But if you ask someone that knows Star Wars lore, knows the movies, who is the most powerful Sith Lord, one of the most popular answers is going to be Sidious, and you would think he is going to be really good because that's in his prime before he got mutilated by the lightning getting reflected back at him. So you would think it's his most powerful form, but no, he's pretty bad. He did have a great spot in the very beginning of the game. He was a day 1 character, and I did play the game day 1 for a few months before I took a long break. But he was the top of the squad arena right at the beginning, like the very beginning, because I guess he gave extra crit chance, crit damage to everybody. And he was easy to farm. He was in squad arena, so he's one of the first characters people are getting to 7-star, but he's fallen very far. Darth Sion, he's still nice. I love the buff Dispel, AoE buff Dispel. I love Felled by Hatred, bringing him back. But in 3v3, he doesn't make the cut on a Traya team. And I don't know, sometimes you can take him or leave him. Maybe this is a little low. I do have him below Dooku, but I think Dooku, I don't know, he's got a better spot on the Dredge team, which isn't quite as good. But it's hard to say. They're all kind of like lackluster. Dooku, Maul, Darth Maul, and Sion, but I don't know. Dooku, he doesn't have a ship. I don't know. I think him and Scion are kind of tie. Like, you could flip-flop them if you wanted to. It wouldn't be a huge deal. But that is the C tier. Now for the B tier. This is where we start getting some really solid characters. These are all really solid role players. Or, yeah, I don't think any of them are lead characters on their own. But they have some really important role within the game somewhere or another. We got Talon, Sith Trooper, Sith Marauder, Darth Vader, fallen quite far since the last time I did this ranking. Sith Empire Trooper, even above Darth Vader. Emperor Palpatine, Bastard Sean Fallen, and Darth Nihilus. So why is Darth Vader so low? He is nice. He is, at least B tier, because at the very beginning of the game, he's quite valuable for assault battles, for doing lots of stuff, because of it. He's got amazing tanks. Empire and Sith. Get the Terminator train going with Emperor Palpatine, Merciless Massacre. It's fantastic. It's nice. As an endgame player, I barely get to use him, and even on my Go Tanks account, finding good uses for him are getting few and far between, and I'm only in Chromium. So I can't really put him in A tier anymore, where he just rides the bench on my main account, and on my small account, I have to find a charitable case for him to beat. And in Conquest, the team is pretty useless in Hard Conquest, like an Emperor Palpatine team. It's very sad. Brand new players, still get them. You still need them. They're very important for assault battles, but he's not breaking A tier, I'm sorry to say. Talon, I bumped her up to B. I think last time I did this ranking, I put her in C, but she's just been hitting a lot harder lately, and I don't know why, if they stealth buffed her or something, but like one day she hit like a wet noodle, and then I recently started to notice that she actually was hitting hard, so I actually gave her offense mods and gave her some decent speed and bumped her to Relic 7 from Relic 5. But she's just a nice add-on. She really protects the Sith leader. She's good with Bane. Plenty of things to like about Talon these days. It shows up an Omicron. I don't have it applied currently on my main account. I couldn't tell you exactly off the top of my head what it does, but it is an option. Sith Trooper. Sith Empire Trooper. This is Sith Empire Trooper. This is Sith Trooper. Sith Trooper, he's good. But what's keeping him in the B tier is he's got a ship. He's got a good ship, Tidorito. And I mean, he's nice. He's a role player, but if I needed to bump him from a Springler Collar team, I wouldn't really think twice about it. And at least in the end game where I play, there's no real room for a second First Order team. And in TW, I don't know, Phasma team, I guess you can use. He's decent. So B tier felt good for him, but he's not really pushing super high up. His Tidorito is fantastic though. But like I said, the ships only get you so far. And two other characters in this tier that have some of their placement to their ships is Sith Marauder and Sith Empire Trooper. Sith Empire Trooper, I put him pretty high just because he all he does is pre-taunt. He sits there. He's got good protection. He can attack under protection, just to help with his AoE, so that has some niche uses here and there. But he's just valuable. I mean, just as a tank, he's my favorite character to use with Bane, just because he is has that pre-taunt threat, and his ship is the best out of all of these. I mean, it might not be the most valuable because you could win with Leviathan without Mark 6. But it's such a broken ship to me. Like, the stacks, you kill 2 at a time. There's plenty of Leviathan counters I've run on my main account or my small account that I just lose because I can't kill Mark 6. He's the best tank in the game. He can take 1 million damage and lose 2 stacks. But then also he can take 1 damage and lose 2 stacks. So it's just a very weird dynamic. The insta-kill, but really just the survivability is kind of weird. Marauder is definitely fantastic. Great ship. The ship tank is very valuable. And on a Sith Empire team, he does hit really hard. I think he's got a very sneaky unique. His defense and tenacity can go through the roof with he counts all buffs in the match at that time and scales his defense and tenacity. And then for his damage, he counts all, I don't know if it's offense or crit damage, I forget, but he counts all the debuffs. Really cool kit. Really durable kit that's like that one unique. It's very simple, but very effective. So he's pretty great. And then the top 3, we got Palpatine, Bastard Sean Fallen, and Nihilus. And there's always really, really ardent Emperor Palpatine supporters that think he should be like A tier or S tier, and I just don't buy it. I mean, he is great with Starkiller, and he's great early game. But you know, Starkiller is not all that. I don't even use that typical standard Starkiller lineup anymore in Kyber 1. I just throw Starkiller with Malachos for the most part, and that's not just a me thing. Like, that's just kind of a thing now, just because it's such a crowded field. But I mean, I love his mechanics. I love the Terminator train. It's just you don't have enough. You don't have You don't have any interruption. Like if you're getting rolled or the enemy goes first, you're really squishy team. Like it's just, I don't know. It's not super durable. But he is high B tier. I mean, I think that's a really good rating. Bastard Fallen, fantastic. I love what she does with Sith Empire, either under Darth Revan or Malgus. The fear, the buffs. She has such a big kit for when she came out. 2018, 6 abilities, 3 uniques. It's just insane. I mean, I think she's awesome. Corrupted Battle Meditation on its own is quite valuable. It just completely makes you unable to land debuffs. It's just amazing, and it's locked and super great buffs. If you do run her just with the Revan and not Malgus, she's giving both of them like 70% extra health. A lot of stuff to like about her. Great damage. Pretty decently survivable. And Nihilus, I have him at the top of the B tier because on that Traya team, he is definitely the engine of it. I mean, Savage is very important, obviously. We don't see Savage here, so he's above. But the insta-kill, very valuable. He stacks his health like crazy. The cooldown increase, just really valuable character. And insta-kills, even though there's a lot more of them, he was the first, and he is still a lasting value with that. It is just a tool in your toolbox that you can't ever really overlook. So that's our B tier. And with A, we have 6 characters: Savage Press, Darkseid Rey, Traya, Darth Revan, Malak, and Malgus. I can already feel some dissension here. But yeah, I used to put Malgus, the last time I did the ranking, I put Malgus in S tier. Since the S tier is what it is, and you'll see that in a second, it just felt right to break all these 6 characters down to the A tier, and obviously they're all very strong. I rate Darth Revan, Malak, and Malgus very highly in my top 25 non-Galactic Legend characters routinely. Trey is up there too. Darkseid Rey, we can't be a prisoner of the moment with her broken focus datacron right now. She is very good, don't get me wrong, but she's very limited to Grand Arena with her Omicrons. And even without her, Supreme Leader Kylo did get around quite well. He could find ways to do things without her. That being said, she is a really good lifter, but she is definitely in the category of lifter. She's not like a Darth Bane where he just completely broke the molding that was made for him and he became his own superstar. She's not a one-man band or one-woman band. She's not Avril Lavigne rocking out there. But I mean, it's old artist, but at this point, like 20 years old. But she's good. I mean, she's really high quality. I put her above Savage. I mean, Savage is really nice. He's not like crazy good in Kyber 1 anymore, but he's a really solid tank. And under that Traya lead, the Omicron, you can take out a lot of stuff. It's one of the most timeless teams you have. And for a day 1 character, I mean, very impressive. He is only good in Grand Arena, though. He's trash everywhere else. So, Grand Arena, I weight a lot higher. I do think it's the most important game mode. It is the main game mode for a lot of players. So, I don't feel too bad bumping him all the way up into A. That being said, you could argue to put him in B. You could definitely make that argument, and I wouldn't hate you for it. But I don't think you can make the argument to take Traya or the Sith Empire, 3 Sith Empire characters out of A. I'd listen to arguments to take Darkseid Rey out of A, but I thought this was good respect for her. Already kind of talked about Traya, but like as long as it's not a Darkseid GL shutting her down or like insta-kill, she's just such a strong team. Now Darth Revan, Malak, and Malgus. It might be a little too on the nose to put all of them together. But they do have, I mean, all very similar power levels in different ways. Darth Revan is amazing. I think he's amazing in his own right. His leadership is great. The death mark is particularly valuable. All that ferocity translating to so much damage and so much speed. I love it. I've been so happy with just his lead with Bastille Sean Fallen. Oh my god, it takes account for a long time, probably over a year now. Or maybe up to a year that I've had him and haven't gotten Malik or Malgus yet. And he is the fleet commander to the best fleet in the game. But that is not the primary thing we're looking at. So I do keep Malik bumped just above him because Malik is a lot more plug and play. He's a lot more valuable in the high end of the game. Just that reactive fear mechanic on everybody. The health drain, he's just very durable. He's great in, I mean, TB, I haven't talked much about TB yet, but he's super valuable on those high Relic 9, Relic 8 planets, whereas Darth Revan kind of just dies. And then Malgus, I do have to give the biggest nod because in the most important game mode, Grand Arena, he does have the edge in the leadership, and he is a surprising answer to a lot of new teams that come out, and he's pretty new himself. I mean, he's like a 2022, 2023 character. I think he's a 2022 character. But he has the answer, like tons of crit avoidance, some health-based damage, great tank, just amazing tank. You can't Zerg him down. I mean, when he came out, when he was newer and there was any kind of Datacron buffing him up, I remember having rage moments where I just couldn't kill him. He's the last one left. Yes, if you have bounty hunters with Grief and Mando, you can take him out pretty easily by himself. But if you don't, and you're at the end of your roster, back then it was kind of tough. But he's also got a great ship too, so that's what helps edge him. Fury is arguably the most important ship in that fleet. I think it's the only one you absolutely cannot take out of the starting lineup. You can be creative and do all kinds of stuff with that Leviathan fleet, but you cannot take Fury class Interceptor out of the starting lineup. So there is an argument that you could put him in S tier, but we're going to look at our S tier in a second, and I think it makes sense to kind of leave him out. And now with this S tier, potentially a hot take, but I put Bane ahead of Sith Eternal Emperor. So Bane was created to be the lifter to Sith Eternal Emperor, but instead he broke his chains, transcended his supposed to be leader, and became the star of the show. So this is the only tier list I've ever done, I think, where I have put a non-galactic legend over a galactic legend. So Sith Eternal, frequently recognized as the worst. I don't think many people argue that he is the worst galactic legend. They're both almost exclusively offensive tools. There's some mad lads out there that might try to put them on defense, and you can make a decent Sith Eternal Emperor defense team now and then. But it just falls to himself like an undersized. You could just any Sith Eternal team on defense, you could usually just solo with your own Sith Eternal Emperor. But anyway, if I had the choice, no matter what the circumstance, pretty much, if I can take either Sith Eternal Emperor or Bane to use on offense, I'm taking Bane. I can beat more things with Bane than Sith Eternal Emperors. Bane can beat like a Leia team in 3v3. I mean, 5v5, I don't know, maybe, but in 3v3, he can beat a Leia team. He could beat like a Lord Vader team. I don't know how he does against clones without Apocron, but he just beats so much. He is just a world apart. I still give Lord Vader the edge over him. But it's kind of arguable. He's more limited to just Grand Arena. So that is probably the only argument to be made to put Sith Eternal Emperor above him, because Sith Eternal Emperor has much more widespread value to him. Bane, you can't like use the rule of 2 in TB. You can't 2-man, and in GW he still is pretty good, but he's not crushing GLs. But Grand Arena being the most important, I just had to put him over Sith Eternal Emperor. And really just the whole game. I mean, that's a decent argument to not put him there. But I wanted to. Dang it. I just wanted to. He's so good. I love Bane. Everybody loves Bane. There's characters that come out and they're broken. They're overpowered. They're insane. And there's cries and revolts. Please nerf him, please. Like when Reva came out, I was one of the, please nerf her. She's way too good. What is this? What's going on? No one did that with Bane. Maybe someone did, but not many people did that with Bane because he's not a problem on defense. You don't have to bang your head against the wall trying to kill a Bane. He's not on defense. He's on offense. So you get to use him. You get to smite your foes with Darth Bane and enjoy it. Just life's good. He's one of the most fun characters that's ever come out. But Sith Eternal Emperor, I mean, obviously he's still a GL. So, but yeah, Lord Vader, he's among the higher rated GLs now with his clones. You know, maybe I rated him too high in my GL ranking, because everything we know is based on the Apocron that's come out. But I think he'll still do a lot of great things with his new dark side clones. TB, he's awesome. TW, he's fantastic. And, you know, he's just, I think he's better than Bane. I think there's just more use to him. He needs some help, but he's pretty good. But anyway, that's my whole tier list. I guess I don't have as much to say about Lord Vader as Bane and Sith Eternal Emperor, but I thought it was already enough to give Bane the edge over Sith Eternal Emperor. I couldn't do it to Lord Vader too, even if his nickname is Lord Failure. So let me know what you think. No F tier. Pretty decent breakdowns. It kind of follows a normal curve, so the statisticians out there might be happy with it, but I do think there's probably plenty of room for argument, and I'd love to hear it in the comments. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Share your thoughts down below. See you next time.